Imagine Bolivia, way before Wi-Fi. Picture a time when the landscape was untouched by modern technology, where the mountains and valleys held secrets of ancient civilizations. We're talking serious ancient history, folks. Long before the digital age, these lands were home to some of the most advanced societies of their time. The Tiwanaku, masters of engineering, built amazing cities right on the shores of Lake Titicaca. Their stone structures were so precise they still baffle modern engineers. That's right, a lake at high altitude. Talk about ambition. Imagine constructing monumental architecture at over 12,500 feet above sea level. These guys were around for centuries, but even empires fall. The Tiwanaku civilization eventually declined, leaving behind a legacy of mystery and wonder. Enter the Inca, with their own brand of empire building. They were strategic, innovative, and knew how to integrate the cultures they conquered. They rolled into town like the cool kids in school, bringing their language, Quechua, and their llama-powered economy. Llamas were not just pack animals, they were integral to the Inca way of life. The Inca ruled for a while, expanding their empire across the mountains. Their network of roads and trails connected distant regions, facilitating trade and communication. But they didn't know what was about to hit them from across the sea. The arrival of the Spanish conquistadors would change everything. Spoiler alert, it wasn't friendly competition. The Spanish brought with them not just weapons, but diseases that decimated the indigenous populations, leading to the fall of these once great empires. 1532 marked the date. This year would become a turning point in the history of South America, a year that would see the beginning of a dramatic and often tragic transformation. Francisco Pizarro and his conquistadors show up in South America. They were driven by dreams of immense wealth and the glory that came with it. Pizarro, a man of humble beginnings, saw an opportunity to rise to greatness. Their mission? Gold, glory, and maybe a tan. But it wasn't just about personal gain. The Spanish crown had its eyes set on expanding its empire and spreading Christianity. It wasn't pretty for the Inca. The once mighty empire, known for its advanced engineering and rich culture, faced an unprecedented threat. The Spanish brought with them not just weapons but also diseases. Diseases ripped through the empire, weakening them before the Spanish even arrived. Smallpox, measles, and other European illnesses decimated the population, making it easier for the conquistadors to conquer. By 1533, the Inca Empire was toast. The Spanish had taken control, and the once great civilization was in ruins. The fall of the Inca marked the beginning of a new era in South American history. The Spanish weren't exactly known for their gentle touch. They imposed their rule with an iron fist, often resorting to brutal methods to maintain control and extract resources. They were all about that silver, baby. The discovery of vast silver deposits turned the region into a treasure trove for the Spanish, who exploited the mines with little regard for the local population. Potosi, a mountain practically bursting with silver, became the new hotspot. The wealth extracted from Potosi fueled the Spanish economy and financed their global ambitions. For Bolivia, it was the start of centuries under Spanish rule, a period known as the colonial era. This era was marked by exploitation, cultural suppression, and the imposition of European norms and values. Not exactly a picnic, especially if you weren't Spanish. The indigenous people faced harsh conditions, forced labor, and a rigid social hierarchy that placed them at the bottom. The legacy of this period is still felt in Bolivia today. Fast forward a few centuries. Napoleon's doing his thing in Europe and the Spanish are a little distracted. Perfect time for a revolution, right? Simon Bolivar, a Venezuelan general with a flair for the dramatic, thought so. After years of fighting, Bolivia declared its independence on August 6, 1825. They even named the country after Bolivar, which is like naming your goldfish after yourself. A bit much? Maybe. Independence was great and all, but things didn't magically get perfect. Bolivia faced economic struggles, political instability, and the occasional military coup. It's complicated. The 19th century wasn't kind to Bolivia. First up, the War of the Pacific from 1879 to 1884. Chile wanted some of that sweet, sweet coastline, and Bolivia, well, they had some. You can guess how that went. Bolivia lost its access to the sea, becoming a landlocked country. Ouch! But wait, there's more. In the 1930s, it was time for the Chaco War, this time with Paraguay. Another war? another loss. Bolivia was left feeling a bit bruised, landlocked, and wondering why they couldn't catch a break. By the mid-20th century, Bolivians were fed up. Inequality, poverty, and a sense that the government didn't care fueled a revolution in 1952. The MNR, or Movimiento Nacionalista Revolucionario, led the charge, promising change. And change they did bring. The revolution brought land reform, nationalized the mines, big deal, and gave more rights to indigenous people. It was a turning point in Bolivian history. But revolutions come with their own set of problems. The following decades saw political instability, military coups, and hyperinflation. Running a country is hard, okay? The 1980s brought a glimmer of hope. Democracy returned to Bolivia, though it wasn't always smooth sailing. The country struggled with economic challenges, social unrest, and the drug trade. It's a lot for one country to handle. Evo Morales, Bolivia's first indigenous president, took office in 2006. He brought about significant changes, focusing on social programs and reducing poverty. He also stayed in office for a really long time, which made some people nervous. In 2019, after a disputed election, Morales resigned and left the country. Bolivia's future remains uncertain, but one thing's for sure, it's never dull. So, where does Bolivia stand today? This South American nation, often overshadowed by its larger neighbors, is a land of incredible diversity and potential. It's a country of contrasts, rich in history, culture, and natural resources. From vibrant cultural festivals that showcase its indigenous heritage to historical landmarks that tell tales of its colonial past, Bolivia is a tapestry of stories waiting to be explored. From the Andes Mountains to the Amazon rainforest, the scenery is breathtaking. The Andes, with their towering peaks and rugged terrain, offer a stark contrast to the lush, dense foliage of the Amazon, teeming with wildlife and mystery. Bolivia is home to the world's largest salt flats, Salar de Uyuni, which looks like something out of a science fiction movie. This vast, otherworldly landscape stretches as far as the eye can see, creating a natural mirror that reflects the sky in a surreal display. And let's not forget the llamas, those fluffy icons of the Andes. These gentle creatures are more than just a tourist attraction. They are an integral part of the Andean way of life, providing wool, meat, and companionship to the people who live there. The country is also sitting on a potential gold mine, or should we say lithium mine, with vast reserves of lithium, a key component in batteries. As the world shifts towards renewable energy and electric vehicles, Bolivia's lithium reserves could play a crucial role in the global energy market. Could Bolivia become the Saudi Arabia of lithium? Only time will tell. The potential is there, but it will require careful management and investment to turn this natural wealth into sustainable prosperity for its people. Bolivia's journey has been anything but boring. Its history is a roller coaster of events, from the rise and fall of ancient empires to the tumultuous periods of Spanish conquest and the fight for independence. From ancient empires to Spanish conquest, revolutions, and political dramas, this small country has seen it all. Each era has left its mark, contributing to the rich tapestry of Bolivian identity and resilience. What does the future hold? Stay tuned. With a young and dynamic population, Bolivia is poised for a future that blends tradition with innovation. The potential for growth in technology, education, and sustainable development is immense. It's bound to be an adventure. Whether you're drawn by its natural beauty, its rich cultural heritage, or its promising future, Bolivia is a country that invites exploration and discovery.